Hello everyone, welcome to JIGS TV Weekly Go News. Today we have news from all the Asian countries. There is no news from Taiwan because last week two major titles in Taiwan were finished, like title matches. One of them was won by Xu Haohong versus Wang Yuanjun, and in the other one, Wang Yuanjun beat Jian Jingting. We start from Japan. Hello. We start from Japan. In Japan, the Honimbo title match started. Yama-Yuta won the Honimbo title already 8 times in a row. And last year, Shibano Toramaru was the one who was challenging him, trying to take the title away from him. Now again, Shibano Toramaru challenges Yama-Yuta. The first game was played in Gunma in Takasaki. We can see how nice the venue is. And next game will be played in 1.5 weeks. By the way, as it is with the major titles in Japan, there are very long time settings, and such a game takes 2 days. This game took in total 19 hours. It was played on Tuesday and Wednesday. That also explains why there is such a big break between next games, and each game is played in a different location in Japan. Here we can see professionals Motoki Katsuya and Hoshiai Shiho commenting the game. And let's look at the game itself and let's see if Shibano Toramaru could bite Iyama in their first game. So let's take a look. Okay. The game started with a normal Joseki. I think many of you saw it, and then black pushed, white played Hane, and cat was played. And this is maybe already looking like a start of a big fight, but in fact it still is a Joseki. It is a long and a bit confusing Joseki, but everything up to here is a classic. It can be found in many professional games. Of course, choice of such a Joseki depends on the circumstances. And here we can see that both black and white are making big moyos. So they both thought such a result is possible to take. Now, Shibano thought that it's already high time to go into white's area. So black played a few moves. And after playing these exchanges, black, maybe a bit surprisingly, didn't continue trying to live with the group, neither doing something nor doing something in the corner. No, now black played in his own area. Probably black thought that already some agi is created in white's territory, even two weak points, and now black decides to create something for himself. And white thought that okay, now it is time for white to come. I think black's answer, the answer of Shibano, is really interesting, this attachment. But anyway, white managed to create a group. Black got some potential on the top. But as black saw soon, this potential can also have some weaknesses. So for now, black thought, okay, white lived in my area, now it's my time to do something with the group on the left. But now white used the weak point of black's area, and white attached with this move. Very difficult to answer it. We can see that white is looking at such an agi. And in the end, it meant that white just created life, a pretty big life in black's corner. Alright, black still has something on the top, but I think white was satisfied with such a big life. Afterwards, another fight started on the bottom when after black's peak, white decided to not connect their groups, because then white was afraid that all of the stones can be attacked together. So instead, white played from the outside and let black cut the 3 stones. I counted points at this moment of the game and I thought black is doing fine. However, white has center, so it all depends on what can white do on the top. However, white had something else in mind. White found a way of using this shape of black and making seki. So the 3 stones were not captured, in fact. White added the move so that there are no problems with the central group. But anyway, in the end, black doesn't have all these points. Black continued trying to take that territory, of course, but at one point white was looking for weaknesses in that territory, and white found something really amazing. I think this move of h17 is maybe a bit surprising. Maybe it was surprising for Shibano, or just Shibano didn't think he has any choice. Anyway, why does white sacrifice 2 stones? What is the meaning of this? We can see after a few moves, after 3 moves, Shibano resigned. So why? Well, if black answers normally, then white can just capture the 3 stones of black. If black plays from the outside, then white just then white can connect back, or maybe even if not really connect back, then at least, it is a connection. So this is also black's loss, but black has this counter, this pinch of white's shape. And what can white do now? If white continues the same way, now there is a damezumari, white loses the stones. However, now, do I remember it? For sure, white starts with the Atari, and then white can Atari from this side. Atari here, and now cut black. And you can see why white cut at h17 first. If that exchange was not there, would it change something? Or would it still work? It wouldn't work because black could Atari first and then add a move. Okay, so we can see what a nice Tesuji Iyama found, and Shibano Turamaru resigned because his territory was gone. So congratulations for Iyama for the first victory in the Honinbo title. Chinese pros are the only Asian pros not wearing glasses. Interesting. I don't know. All right. Anyway, we can see that Japanese pros do. This match is best of 7, so still there will be a lot of games to be played. And now let's move to China, where the Qisheng Challenger deciding tournament happened. It is the 5th edition of the Qisheng tournament. Qisheng is the equivalent of Japanese Kisei, so a very prestigious tournament. And here we can see that in the final of this Challenger deciding match, Shi Yue is playing versus Lin Xiao. Shi Yue on the right. Shi Yue is the more experienced player, but in fact in Qisheng, Lin Xiao already won the title once in the 3rd edition, and in the 1st edition he was in the final. However, now he didn't manage to beat Shi Yue. And here we can see happy Shi Yue, and we will also take a look at the game. Alright, let's move to the board. Shi Yue was white, and I know that some of the players are complaining a bit about modern Go after AI era being a bit boring in terms of the openings, because everyone is playing the same Sanson Invasion, the same Shimari and so on. But in fact it is not because of what AI says, it is because there are always fashions in professional Go, and these fashions also go to the amateur Go. But what AI says about the opening is that there are many possibilities always. And for example, this old Joseki called Taisha is not criticized by AI. It is a classical joseki, and in fact there are even new variations. I am not sure if this, what happened in the game, is a new variation, but it's a variation I never saw before, so I will need to study it a bit. In the game, it was a variation with a sacrifice. Black gave away 7 stones, but got a nice influence. I don't know, who do you like? Black has influence both on the right side and on the upper left, but white has a lot of points, and black's influence still has many weak points. Afterwards, there was another interesting moment when white attacked, and black didn't want to just answer peacefully and give away what white wants and finish with an over-concentrated shape on the top. Instead, black went for a counter-attack and then even ignored playing this R12 move. And I am not sure of this tiger's mouth, because what white did afterwards was pretty smart, I think. White attached from the top, and afterwards black really didn't want to continue and have so many stones on the right side and not as many points. So black was afraid of getting over-concentrated, and that's why black went into the corner. But then white went for a Hane, and a fight started. And in this fight, I think white managed it well. White lived with the group, even put some pressure on black's group. Okay, black also lived. But in the end, white was alive on the bottom. On the right, black had no moyo. Now black needs to somehow use the influence black got, but it is white's center. And white continued. And afterwards, white managed to live with the dragon in the center and with the group on the bottom. When Lian Xiao realized that the group of Shiyue is not possible to get killed, he just resigned. So black didn't take enough points, and black gave too many points to white from the very beginning of the game. Okay, congratulations to Shiyue. And here we can see that Chinese professionals are also wearing glasses. So maybe not all, but some of them are. Shiyue will challenge Kejie. Kejie is currently holding the Qisheng title. One thing from the 23rd Chinese A League now, the Chinese A League is being played in stages, and the first stage of the Chinese A League has just finished. There were 5 rounds, and in the 5th round, Kejie met with Yang Dingxin, and interestingly, there was some maybe tension between the players before the game, or maybe not the tension, but just they both showed how much they care about the result of the upcoming game. Kejie was saying that he really wants to show extraordinary moves in his games, and Yang Dingxin was saying that, well, first of all, he said that he thinks Korean players are studying opening in Go in more detail, more profoundly than Chinese players, and that this is the correct attitude. And second, he also said something that there are players who can have a reputation of being very strong, but if they don't win any international or national title in the last year, then it is just an empty reputation. But I don't know. As we know, Kejie has the Qisheng title. He is currently holding the Qisheng title, but somehow this was read by the commentators as a suggestion, like as a reference to Kejie. Anyway, then they played a game, and the game was very tense, and in the end, Yang Dingxin, cutting the stones of Kejie, managed to live with his group, and Kejie had to resign. And here we can also see that both of the Chinese players we were looking at are wearing glasses, so it seems that all Asians are actually right now are already wearing glasses. Here we can take a look also at the Korean professional players, because there was the Kuksu Cup title match. And I wonder, this is the 9th Kuksu Cup, as you can see on the photo. And in the final, Moon Min-jong met with Lee Yeon, if I remember the name correctly. Moon Min-jong we already know from a few other title matches, and in fact he already won the Kuksu Cup 2 years ago. But I wonder what this competition is, because the Kuksu Cup used to be the oldest Korean tournament. It was founded in 1956, and there were almost 60 editions, but then it was discontinued. And this is some other tournament. So I didn't find information on what exactly this competition is. It is maybe some something with the same name. Not sure if the same sponsor. Anyway, yeah, as we can see, the Korean players are serious about wearing not only glasses but also masks. And Moon Min-jong got this title of the Kuksu Cup for the second time. Okay, now let's move to Europe, and we have a few interesting news. The first one is about the Transatlantic Professional Go League. This is the first edition of the Transatlantic Pro League. Well, it is a continuator of the European Professional Go League, which already had 3 editions. But now there are 2 guests from the Northern American Go Federation, Ryan Lee and Calvin Swen, and 2 guests from the Amateur European Go World, and these are the amateurs who won the qualification, which was held previous weekend, and these are Oscar Vasquez, 6 dan from Spain, and Rémi Campagny, 6 dan from France. The first matches happened already this Saturday and Sunday. The format is changed to the comparing to the European Professional Go League, because there is no one league, there are 2 leagues and 5 players in each. Each weekend there is one match of each league, and a match consists of 2 games. So it is there is a possibility that there is a draw, 1-1. In the first match, Andriy Krawiec was playing versus Calvin Swen, and Calvin Swen managed to win 2-0. So we can see that the guest is doing well. And by the way, all these games are also commented on Twitch by another European professionals who are currently not playing. So this is a great show, and I recommend all of you to watch them, to watch these transmissions. And then on Sunday there was another match where another guest, Rémi Campagny, 6 dan, was playing against Pavel Lisi. Pavel Lisi, 2 dan professional, and we know Pavel. We had an interview with Pavel after he won the Korean Ambassador Cup, the Prague tournament, which was held online this year. Now he was playing against Rémi, and Rémi won 2-0. So this is the biggest upset so far, I think. I guess Calvin Swen beating Andriy Krawiec is well, not sure if an upset or not. I guess the level of the American professionals and the European professionals is rather close. When there was a transatlantic professional Go match, European pros versus American pros, European pros managed to win, but it was not a decided win. And then we had Ryan Lee in this league who just won the league, so the level should be similar. Anyway, there is another news or another information about the Professional Go League. Already from the previous editions, all of the games are being put into the AI Sensei. AI Sensei is the online tool which can review your games. You can review your games there using the strongest currently available AI, which is Katago, the distributed run versions of Katago. and you can get an account there. With a free account, you can already review your games on some fixed number of playouts. With a subscription, you can get a deeper analysis, and pretty deep analysis are performed of all of the professional games, of all the games played in the league. So you can look at them and see how it went. Here we can see the first game of Pavel versus Remy. Pavel was making a big moyo, and Remy was close to dying there. I mean, Remy just created a group, and Pavel was attacking it well, but then made some mistakes, and here we can see the crucial moment. AI suggests some crazy variation with a ko. Okay, so also you can take a look at these. Now let's move to the PandaNet European Team Go Championship, which is about to finish. There are 4 leagues, and the League D has an odd number of teams participating. And because of the odd number, Portugal already has all of their games played, because in the last round they will have a bye. Other teams still have the 8th game to play, and Portugal might still hope for getting into the playoff, but as we can see, both Bulgaria and Georgia have the same number of points. So perhaps they can get some points in the last round, and then it would mean Portugal will not be second. And by the way, Bulgaria is playing in the last round versus Morocco, and Georgia is playing versus Slovenia. So as we can see from the table, Georgia has a more difficult task, but we don't know. And Slovenia is already sure that they have the first place, which means they will play in the League C from the next season. The last match takes place in 1 week on Tuesday. In League C, there was the last round played because there are less teams, so there are just seven matches. We can see that the match Spain versus Ireland is not finished yet. There is 1 game to be played, but it doesn't affect the results of the league. Lithuania did their best to get into the playoff. They won their last match. However, Denmark was playing versus South Africa, and Denmark beat South Africa 4-0, even though on each of the boards they were lower ranked. So congratulations to the team of Denmark, and they will play in the playoff for joining League B from the next season. And we are already sure that Southern Africa, who took the first place, joins League B. Greece is out, will be playing in the League D, and Spain will be playing in the playoff. We don't know with whom, maybe with Bulgaria. The last match in League B happens in 1 week, so that we will know the rival of Denmark. And the last match in League A happens tomorrow. I will be also playing there tomorrow, I guess, with Andriy Kraviec, because Poland is playing Ukraine. Go to the PandaNet Go server at 8 p.m. Central European Summer Time. All the matches will be played, or most of the games will be played on that hour. Yeah. Everything will be decided, who is in the top 4. And now we have still one more news from Russia. There was the Central Federal District Championship held in Kaluga. And in that tournament, Alexander Muromtsev, a young prodigy from Russia, managed to get the title. And as we can see on the photos from the tournament, in the meantime, like between the rounds, the strongest participants, Alexander Muromtsev and Sava Mezin, were also playing chess, not only playing Go. All right, we don't have an interview. In fact, we just have Mania today, who will tell us about the Jena International Go School, how it is doing this time, and what you can get, what you can find interesting for yourself in the offer of JIGS. Let's listen to Manja.
Hello, my name is Manja Marz, and today we don't have an interview partner here, but instead I would like to use the chance to say thank you to all of you. Why? Because of you, we have the Jena International Go School being really established. After only 2 years, we have more than 150 students now, and it seems that you are still hungry. And that's why I would like to tell you briefly what options you have if you want to get stronger also in the future. So first of all, since the European Go Congress will not take place this year in Ukraine, we will offer an intensive training camp in the end of July and beginning of August. That will take place face-to-face here in Jena and also online, so both will happen. So, but not only that, we have also courses which go usually like 2 or 2.5 months. We call them the 9 weeks courses, where you spend 1 hour per week in getting a theory, but also you have daily homework and you have elite games. These ones really take place in any kind of language and also in any kind of playing strength. So currently we have more than 70 people training with us here. Then we have each Friday the Play and Train event. So if you would like to get stronger by playing, then actually that might be a good option for you, because Friday we meet like 3 hours in the evening, and the aim is not to win the game, but the teacher will comment all your moves while you're playing and try to improve you. Sometimes you can also take back moves, or you get a little bit of a theory lesson, and then you should apply it and learn how to play these things. So this is what we do on Friday evening. Then if you play in the Bundesliga team, then from the next season on, we also offer special Bundesliga training events. So that is also something special and unique. And then we also offer, of course, some individual tailored training. So if you think, oh, this doesn't fit to me, I would like to have something else and different, contact us. We try to make your needs come true and really make the course for your needs. And last but not least, you are, of course, welcome to come to Jena at any time. This summer, we expect more than 15 people. We expect that it will be also allowed due to Corona. So if you think you would like to have fun face by face, you may come here. So we have beds here, just come over and that's fine. And finally, by saying all this thank you, it's not only me saying thank you, it's actually also in the name of all the teachers, because the teachers are happy to make Europe stronger and train you. So thank you from the whole JIGS team, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Manja. I also invite all of you to join the online camps organized by JIGS and the face-to-face events, real life events. As each week, at the end of the show, we have a section of Sumego, and in the double-digit Q section, we have 3 of the participants being closer and closer, getting the 75 points threshold. In the single-digit Q category, we have Grigory Zavalov, who managed to surpass 75 points. He got 8 points. He gets a prize. Congratulations. In the yes, there is one thing that this week, no one in the single-digit Q section managed to find the completely correct sequence in the last problem. It's pretty confusing. It's a sneaky problem. It has a trap. And the done section this week was pretty difficult, it seems. I think all 3 problems were not easy. Let's see how the problems in next week will be. Here you can see all of them, so take a look, download them from the website. And by the way, I heard, I checked it only today, that on the website there we mistakenly put the solutions to this week's problems instead of last week's problems. But it seems that people didn't try to cheat and get these solutions, so it's good. Anyway, we will make sure that this doesn't happen again. All right. So that's it for today, and see you next week. And by the way, yes. By the way, if you don't know, the solutions are always put on the website as a PDF, so you can check. I mean, when you see that you don't have the maximum of points, then I would recommend for you to look again at your solutions, and maybe you can find the mistake yourself. And then after you think you found the mistake, then take a look at the official solutions file to make sure if your new ideas are correct or not. And next week we should have a new presenter who will be Jonas. Or wait, maybe we could have had it as a surprise, but now it's already too late. Anyway, he will help in JIGS TV, and especially in the later weeks, because in the later weeks there will be the 41st World Amateur Go Championship, so I will not be available, but luckily we have the second presenter, and we will welcome him very warmly next week. Annoying problems, but not sure if as annoying as last week's problems. Okay, that's it for today, and see you next week. Bye bye.